Hey, Sarah here again, and I wanted to take just a few minutes to share some extra thoughts on the stress point of friends and family. As we move into our 20s as young adults, as we step away from those high school days or step away from the umbrella of our family, whether we've lived with our parents or a grandparent or whoever, it's difficult to navigate our how we deal with our friends and our family now that we're kind of coming into our own person. We're coming into a new stage of life. And I mentioned in the book that our friends of high school and junior high and elementary might not be those same friends that we have when we're in our 20s. We might find ourselves in different stages of life, in different places in life. And so, our friends that we had back then that were our best friends ever, our BFFs, we might not relate to them anymore. And that's difficult. It can be kind of stressful when you so desperately want to connect with those girlfriends of the past, and just you just don't. Maybe you're in a different spiritual place where you are striving to make Jesus the king of every part of your life. Maybe you are in a different physical place. Maybe you don't live in the same town anymore, and so it makes it even harder to connect with those people on a regular basis. And thank goodness for things like Facebook and Twitter and ways that we can connect with our friends. But it is difficult when we're navigating through our 20s and we just are in different places. Um, but I'd like to encourage you as you are making new friends and developing maybe those old friendships. But as you're maybe making new friends in your new stage of life as a 20-something, what I have found over the years is that it is best to be the friend that we want to have. I hope that I said that right. We've got to be the friend that we want to have. So if we want friends that call us up and ask us to go out to dinner, we've got to be that friend that calls others up and ask them to go out to dinner. If we want friends that we can trust and we can rely on to share our heart, we've got to be the friend first that opens up our heart and shares our heart with our friends, but also builds up a trust. We have to be the first ones to build up a trust in the relationship, so that they can see that we are trustworthy and that they can share their heart in confidence, and that we won't go and blab it to everybody. That's really what I've learned over the years, that sometimes it gets frustrating when you feel like your friends don't call you. You're always making the effort, but you just have to be a friend to make friends, if that makes sense. On the flip side of that, it's also so important to not set too high of expectations on our friends. This is something that I do, and I've done ever since I was little. I've been the type that I expect too much from people, and it's hard on my friends when they don't live up to those expectations. Um, Here's just an example. I am very, very, I make a big deal about birthdays. I love my birthday. I love my friends' birthdays, my family's birthdays, and I make a big deal about it with them. And also, I make a big deal about my own birthday, but that's beside the point. Um, and there's been a couple times when several of my friends have forgotten my birthday, uh, just flat out forgot, and didn't even send a Facebook note or anything. They just forgot. And several years ago, it really did hurt my feelings. Over the years, I've just come to realize, you know what? They've got their own lives. They've got their own things that stress them out, and they've got their own worries and distractions in their own life. And so I need to offer up some grace. And also, things like birthdays may not be important to as important to our friends as it is to me. So they might share their love for me in other ways. So I really encourage you to not only be the friend that you want to have, but don't set too high of expectations. And just as it is with dating relationships, and I've talked about that before, we cannot put our trust and our full trust and our full heart to somebody else without giving it to God first. Only Jesus can fulfill every single need. In the dating chapter, I talked about the triangle where you've got to, where you have the boyfriend, you have you, and you have God up here. And I'll talk about that in the dating video again because it's so important. But just as in a dating relationship, when you have you and you have a friend and you have God, you've got to fill up on God first. You can't turn to the friend and then fill up on God. You can't turn to them to get your heart filled, your joy filled. You've got to go to God first because that other person cannot fill every need of ours. They fall short, we fall short for them. So we must come to God first. And as we go to God and as our friends are going to God in that triangle, I really suggest take a look at the triangle in the dating part 2 chapter. But as we move towards God, as friends, we're moving towards each other. And that makes for more meaningful relationships and friendships because God is pouring into each of us individually. And then we have that a leftover abundance to pour into others. But we just cannot expect our girlfriends to make us happy. We can't let our lives revolve around whether our girlfriends called us back or we can't let our lives revolve around maybe a friend that we have that's kind of a distant friend. Maybe they're gossiping about us. We just can't let that consume us because there are more important things in our lives. And the more important thing is Jesus. Jesus loves us. He will always be there for us. He will never let us down. And even our bestest of friends, excuse me for the grammar there, but even our best friends will let us down. So we've got to just kind of lower that bar a little bit as far as our expectations. And so I just hope that these few minutes of encouragement regarding the stress point of friends might speak to your heart today. It's something that I've dealt with, and it really does come with time. Just as a lot of things in your 20s, you have to understand that it just comes with time and maturity, and you just got to get through those hard things. You got to get through maybe those tough times with some friends, and once you're on the other side of it, you learn lessons that as you mature and grow through the years, you think back, okay, this is what I learned then and this is how I'm dealing with it now. But sometimes it just takes going through it. So I am so glad that you have given me the opportunity to journey through these life stress points with you. That's why I want to share my own mistakes, like I shared my mistake of setting the bar too high with friends, and so that maybe you won't do the same. But let's do this together and let's journey as a community. So leave a comment. I'm gonna maybe leave a few questions to think about within this post, and leave a comment and let's form a community as we talk about our friends and family as stress points in our life. I hope you have a great day wherever you are. We'll touch base with you soon. Bye.